Hello, welcome to a Galaxy Man Show interview show. So for my very last guest of this week is this incredible YouTuber known by the name of Este. He's also in this incredible Power Rangers online fan series called Power Rangers Masterforce. So I'm about to add Este into the live now to have a chat with Este about his role in Power Rangers Masterforce. So yeah, E-Squad all the way.
Yo,
Hey, what's up, Este?
what's up, man? I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Yeah, really good, thanks. I just want to say, first up, thank you so much for taking the time to come onto my show. It's such a pleasure having you on my show. So, to people that don't know who you are, if you can give a bit of intro about yourself, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Well, I'm Este. I'm 20 years old. I'm a Power Rangers YouTuber. I've been doing it for about 5 years now. And throughout these last few years, I've had so many amazing experiences with the whole Power Rangers community and making good friends and doing fun things like Masterforce and being here with you tonight.
Awesome. So we'll dive right into the very first question. So for my very first question, so you're actually in this incredible new online Power Rangers fan series called Masterforce, and you play a incredible ranger called Zaviox. What has the
Zaviox.
experience? Zaviox. Sorry.
Zaviox, yeah.
So, so what has the whole experience been like for you getting to be in Power Rangers Masterforce?
Well, being in Power Rangers Master Force has been a really just quite an amazing experience. When I got the email and when I found out about the whole team and what they've been doing on the show, I fell in love with all of them. They were so nice. And then talking with the people at Master Force and helping create my character and my whole arc has also just been so much fun that I can literally like be on a show, like be on a Zoom call with everybody, acting out as a character and just making it who I want to be. Like I be inserting funny jokes and I like making everybody laugh in there, and it's just really been a good time.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So when you got casted in the role for Power Rangers Master Force, what were your emotions like when you got casted in the role?
I mean, I was definitely pretty excited because those guys really kind of like made a push on my YouTube channel. Like I usually host live streams there where I talk to all my fans, and they were like in the chat just like the whole cast in there. And that really caught my attention. And you know, to see a project like this kind of hosted by fans itself, made by fans for fans, like everybody that they have in casted in the show is literally like a fan. So being a part of that family and just having the experience to talk with all these guys, and then being known that I was like the evil one, I'm being cast as the evil ranger, like that was absolutely crazy for me. And it really gave me the chance to just, I guess, explore explore acting kind of in a way. And just I've never played like a role playing game like this. Like I've gotten offers throughout the years from friends like just come play a game, play around of D&D with me or something. And I didn't, I don't know. I just wasn't really interested in that back then. But then I saw Hyperforce a few years ago, and I loved watching Hyperforce. Literally like nights in here, like when my power would go out because they're on Hyperforce. I had a big hurricane, so the nights would go out. I have no power. I would just watch like Hyperforce on my phone. So Hyperforce has a special place in my heart. So just basically overall, just being casted in Masterforce, and finding out about that and just making my own character and everything has just really been really enlightening to me.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So how can people relate to your ranger in Power Rangers Master Force the most?
Damn. Well, how can they? I don't think anybody can relate to Zaviox, to be honest. I make it so Zaviox is like a brat, right? Like he's just a stubborn, selfish dude, basically. And I think that's just what makes him funny. He's, I guess, if anybody can relate to him, it's those kids that have it all, I guess, and just want more. Um, I don't think that was really what Zaviox was for, but I feel like if anything can learn from Zaviox and his actions in the show, I really feel like they can learn about, like, just being humble and learning how to take matters seriously. 'Cause that's what Zaviox like doesn't do at all. Like, he thinks everything's a joke, and sometimes you need to get to the nitty gritty and be serious. So as less that I think that someone can relate to Xavier, I feel like they could learn more from him instead.
Awesome. So on my very next question, so why do you think people should watch Masterforce, the people that haven't seen Masterforce yet?
I can understand how people don't want to watch Masterforce because it's a long show. I mean, it's 2 3-hour sessions, and when I had the opportunity to watch all the episodes, it was hard for me at first because, like I gotta be sitting here, I gotta be watching, paying attention. But the story was pretty easy to follow. Um, the cast is absolutely amazing. Okay, for a second. But the cast is absolutely amazing. They're great, and their connections with each other just make it, as much as I enjoy being a part of the show, I also just enjoy watching the show, just because of how entertaining it is and how everybody is together. And yeah.
So on to my very next question. So what would be your all-time favorite Power Rangers season of all time and why?
Yo, I get this question a lot, actually. But I would overall have to say SPD, because that was my very first. I think you're an RPM fan, as I can tell by
Yes.
your
Yeah,
profile
I've done a
picture.
bunch of interviews with Dylan from RPM.
Yo, I've
Yeah.
never met him before, but I can assume he's amazing,
Oh
right?
man, he tells a lot of jokes. I'll just say that
If
for you
I
to go.
hope he's at a Morphicon in the future, so I can meet him. But I love the RPM cast. But SPD for me was my first show, my first season into the full franchise, and it was definitely just one that just changed my whole view on things. Like, we there were so many aspects of the future and how the future like affects everyone, but also just the deeper meanings of SPD that you can get from when it comes to, I guess, treating people that are different, because it's a world where humans and aliens are living together. So I think they did a good job explaining like all the problems that could arise from that, and just how having powers in the future just change you as a person. And the big part of SPD also was just the whole B squad versus A squad thing. You know, sometimes people who are at the top aren't necessarily the best at their job, and you have to leave it to the little guys like us to literally like take over and do the good work. So there's a lot you can take from SPD, and literally with every rewatch, I just learned something more and more from it.
So on to my very next question. So who would be your all-time favorite Power Rangers villain of all time and why?
Yo, that's a rough one, but I honestly would have to say Vengex on that one. I like when I watch RPM, I was 8 years old, frankly. So like and the thing was that I had to wake up at 5 in the morning to watch RPM. 'Cause that's when my ABC station would play it. And watching Vengex just go ham, like the first episode, you learn he basically destroys the whole world. And so, and literally even with Vengex's voice, you can really just get all that anger, and just not even just anger in a way, just that villainous tone that he has. So, and literally just everything he does in the show is just a big villain move. And especially when he gets his final body at the end of the show, all of his bodies are great. I mean, there are amazingly designed villain bodies, but his final one is definitely very scary. And then especially Vengex's life after RPM in Beast Morphers.
Yeah.
I did wish that they would like hint at it a little bit more from the beginning, but I still feel like what Venjix or slash Evox did, he's a cold man. I don't even know. He's
Oh
cold as
yeah.
hell.
Yeah. So on to my very next question. So if your Ranger from Power Rangers Masterforce could have any 5 Ranger team members from any seasons, who would he want on his team and why?
Yo, so Zaviox is an evil dude. So if I gotta have an evil dude, I gotta have an evil team on my back. All right. So I'm gonna have Psycho Red, definitely Psycho Red. Need that. I would need A Squad Blue. Get A Squad Blue in there. Get me Camille. From Jungle Fury. I guess that kind of counts.
It does.
Korag. Definitely need Korag. And I guess I'll put two more in there. Let me think. Well, I feel like villains. I want to add a villain. I'm just gonna add a villain in there. I'm gonna add Rito Revolto. I always loved Rito.
Yes.
And um, I'm gonna add Tanaya 7.
That's cool. That's a dope team. Sweet.
Go
So
to
on to
team.
my yeah. So on to my very next question. So as you mentioned, you're a YouTuber. What got you wanting to create being a YouTuber in the first place?
Well, when I started doing Power Rangers videos, there wasn't necessarily people doing videos that I was doing. Like I was the only one making videos like that. I mean, not I was the only one, but like there was all like very small people. There was a very small group of people making videos like that, and I kind of wanted to be that person. For are we cutting out? Are we good? I don't
No,
know.
you're fine. No.
Okay. So I wanted to be kind of like that person for a younger me, essentially, because I've personally I've been bullied for liking Power Rangers, and I kind of learned to kind of hide that liking of the show. But when I did the YouTube videos, it was kind of an escape for me in a way. So I wanted to do videos, and I just did. I sat in front of a camera every week to talk about Dino Charge episode reviews, and then I got into top 10 ideas, toy reviews, whole show reviews, like watching like other stuff like Sentai and Rider. I do all of this for the little kid in me that didn't have somebody to watch like this. Because even though as a little kid, there was that small group of people, there wasn't anybody my age. There wasn't anybody like for me per se. Because everybody else was older. I wanted something I could relate to. And I mean, I've had over 50,000 people kind of join this army I have here, and they really appreciate having someone around their age talk about a show like this, because it's a crucial age where they're kind of forced to hide their liking of the show. And I feel like if anything, in the next few years, Power Rangers is going to have a big change. It's going to try to appeal to more people, and I feel like we should all be confident to show our love for the show, because it's because of the show that you and I are here.
Oh yeah, totally agree. And it brings fans like all of us together. And have a look at us all now. Like we're doing like so much web series creators are doing such an incredible job. Like Nobot Studios, Crimson Vision, so much like Power Ranger fan content out there these days. And
It,
it's just amazing how like it's the
exa-
fan community is growing. Yeah.
No, the fan community is definitely growing, and I do love watching everybody's like fan creations, like the short films they make. I remember Zordon from Eltar a few years back. There were just so many of these, and I honestly just want them to keep coming, to be honest. Like, it's honestly like the fuel of this community, and the reason why Power Rangers is still alive for what it is because we keep talking about it, right? So I feel like if more people just come out and just genuinely enjoy talking about the show, it grows. And I've seen people come into my channel and be like, you know, I didn't watch that much Power Rangers, but I watched your videos and now I'm kind of liking the show a little bit more. So my kind of goal right now is to appeal this brand, this franchise, but also not just that, just myself and how I am as a person to a general audience so that they can understand why I like the show and maybe find something out of it that they haven't found before.
So on to my very next question. So what have you learned about yourself as a person during COVID?
Well, that's a big one because the thing is that I kind of stopped doing YouTube around the time I started college because I felt like it was a time where I felt like it was just time to stop the channel and just kind of enjoy life for a little bit because I used to do like 3 videos a week and it was a lot. It was especially a lot for a high schooler. So I decided to stop and just enjoy college for a little bit. And I did that and I had a great time. College was fun and all, but then obviously quarantine hit and we're all back here in ourselves. And I've done like so much stuff in quarantine time. I have a music collective now called Five Loco, and we made an EP this past summer, and that was a lot of fun to make. And now we're working on the album. But besides the music, it brought me back to myself and who I truly am as a person. The person that sits down, looks at a camera, and just talks about why he loves spandex heroes a lot. So, if anything, I learned how to be myself more and be passionate and be confident of what I do. Because if it wasn't for my confidence and my passionate likings of my art, I wouldn't really be anywhere. And I'm glad that, you know, I'm growing the way I am. And really just kind of my goal now is to help others. You know, I love the team at Masterforce, and I've had a great chance in also just being in the show, but just helping them grow and have more eyes on them. So I really felt like I understood the power I had to just help others out, just be a good person. If anything, like being apart from people brought me closer together with them in a way. So I think mostly it's just that. It's just the confidence boost and just realize that you should never really truly give up on your dreams because you know you don't know where it's gonna take you. I've like for example, just like you come on here and interview all these celebrities and all these people because you generally enjoy doing it. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
exactly. And so do I, really. And if anything, quarantine taught me I can enjoy it more. I can enjoy it more, and I could really just keep on going with this. And I think that's just what continues to push us to make more art.
So on to my very next question. So what are the positives and negatives about being a YouTube creator, and how do you get through those negatives as a person?
Well, I would say the positives is, I guess, the community. I really felt like I've made an amazing community in the past 5 years, and it's really just a matter of me wanting it to continue to grow, not just past Power Rangers, but past myself and everything I have, like my music and everything. So there's definitely that, which really is really kind of the main pro. It constitutes everything else. I mean, the likes, the comments, the shares, that's all part of it. It's all part of the community. But really, I would say the negative is sometimes just coming up with ideas. Sometimes I sit down and I have a list of video ideas on, like I would just write everything out that would come to my mind. And it would come to a point where I look down all these ideas and I'm just like, these don't fit. These don't fit for what I want to talk about right now. And you would think and think, and sometimes just nothing comes up. And that's another one of the reasons why I stopped, because I just didn't have any more ideas for what I wanted to do with the channel. I'm glad I solved that problem now thanks to quarantine. Um, so I would say a negative is that it's kind of feeling like you're losing passion. You know, sometimes a video doesn't do as well as you thought, and you'd be like, man, I really sucked there. What am I going to do to fix it? So sometimes, you know, really, you just try not to pay attention to the numbers, or the hate comments you get, because that's just all part of it. You know, when you do stuff like YouTube, you just got to realize like you're in the public eye. Like people are watching your videos. You're being perceived.
Oh yeah.
So you just need to be ready for whatever hate comes your way. But if you let that aside, it can truly be an amazing experience, and probably something that is great about the future. And what's happening now is people can be YouTubers and just live how they want to live and make the life they want to have. And I feel like it's both a job, but it's also enjoyment. It still feels like a hobby to me, and I'm still enjoying my time, and I plan to be like this for as long as I can.
Awesome. So on the very last question, so what's next for you for like 2021, the rest of 2021?
Damn. So I've really, my goal right now is to hit 100K this year. I ain't gonna stop till I do. So now I have a team of editors with me, so I can pump out more videos a week, 2 videos a week now, which would be Wednesdays and Saturdays. More live streams per se. I plan to have my own studio in the next few months where I can provide more high quality videos. I want to bump up the level of high quality and the edits in them, and just really just make more crazy videos, and not just show the cool history of Power Rangers, but just show kind of stuff related to it in a way. Obscure stuff, you would say. So just that, just bigger videos in general, just more videos, more love and more passion inside of them, more collabs this year. I made it a really top priority to collab with as many people as possible. That's why I'm doing the thing with Masterforce, and that's why I'm trying to show up in everybody's videos, because it's fun. It's fun talking to people about Power Rangers and, you know, not being scared of what they possibly could think of it.
Oh yeah.
So really just more of that, and more music, especially working on the album right now. I've got more songs, and I'm really excited for not just the E Squad, but for really the whole general audience, the world, to see what I got coming out.
Awesome. Well, can I just say thank you so much, Este, for making an appearance on my show. It's been such a pleasure having a chat with you. To people that haven't seen Este on YouTube, definitely go check him out. Such an incredible creator of Power Rangers community. Any last final thoughts that you'd like to say to people on the show?
Damn. Well, I do want to say thank you for having me on. Like this was, I don't do many interviews, so this was definitely a lot of fun. And really what I want to say to everybody is just do what you love. I feel like that's the most important thing anybody can get out of this. It's, you know, whatever somebody else may think of it, you know yourself, and you know what you're capable of. And you know that if you do what you love, you'll be satisfied. You'll be happy. And never give up on your dreams. You know, the world is kind of like set for you, and you just kind of need to follow the path that it's pushing. So if anything, like, keep making videos, keep talking about things, make your art, because someone is out there and someone will like it, even if we think otherwise.